Okay. Are we ready? Are we ready to do this? I am so excited today, you guys. LabCoatAgents, you've got one of my dear friends, and such an amazing person, such a big contributor to LabCoatAgents Facebook group. Jeff Pfitzer, you're amazing. I remember interviewing you, you interviewing me about a year ago, I think on Yelp, all about Yelp or whatever it was that time. And I was so nervous, but today here I am, and I'm so privileged to interview you. It's really my pleasure.
Well, thank you, Jackie. It's been fun watching you kind of evolve into this role with LabCoats. You're taking on a massive role, and it's fun to see.
Well, thank you. You know, I was so nervous, and you know that a year ago. But I want to talk to you. I want to get to know you. I want LabCoatAgents to get to know who Jeff is. You know, he's doing such amazing things with video, School of Video, and just some great things. So let's dig right into it. Are you ready for this, Jeff?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, my first question to you: what has been your biggest challenge during COVID?
How about getting it?
I know, right? I know. I was going to talk about that too. How has it been? I mean, you have recovered from COVID, and it's such a blessing to see you here. But tell us a little bit about what you went through when you first found out, and how you got over all of this.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, to answer your first question, actually, I'm in the mortgage business, which most of you know that. Although you don't know that because of my content usually. But so honestly, our biggest challenge is business-wise has been, and very fortunate to say this, too much business. Literally, that's been the problem for us. That's a problem this year. But yeah, when it came to the COVID, yeah, I mean, it was, we're pretty safe, and we stay in a bubble. And I went to a golf tournament with close friends, and turned out the guy that I was staying with, who's a close friend, ended up getting it from a neighbor, and I ended up getting it. And honestly, the emotions you go through were a lot of the guilt, a lot of feeling sorry for yourself, and then the realization of less about the actual COVID itself, which it did suck. For me, it did hit me pretty hard. It was like a bad flu or a cold, but really more than anything, because we have 4 kids, and we have a blended family. So 3 of the 4 kids are blended. So they had to go stay with their other parents or stay away from us. So it was like 3 or 4 weeks that we didn't get to see those kids, which that was probably by far the worst part. And then my wife ended up she got positive as well. And she was asymptomatic. And so honestly, for me, it was more just feeling bad, feeling like I caused it, that was the worst part about it. Yeah. And for me, actually, and when it started, before my wife knew she was positive, I had to quarantine alone in our house. So I had to basically lock myself in our bedroom. I moved my office in there and everything. And it was only 3 days, but it was 3 of the loneliest days I've probably ever spent.
Wow.
And I'm a people person, so that sucked.
And I remember, you doing a video right here on LabCoat, talking about it outside your front. I believe it was your front door, and talking about how this has hit you home. And I am so happy that you're recovered and you're doing fantastic. You look great as always. So, Thank you. If anyone is just chiming in, just listening to us, I have got the privilege of, interviewing our amazing Jeff Pfitzer, always here on LabCoatAgents, always coming and teaching us something or the other with the video, School of Video, just amazing things you bring, some great content you bring to everybody. So I get the privilege of bringing you on today. And we just shared your story about COVID. Let me ask you this: how do you stay positive during all this? How do you stay motivated during all of this?
I don't know any other way, to be honest with you. I will say that one of the biggest blessings of being a part of LabCoats, I've had the fortunate opportunity to become really good friends with Tristan, and he and I talk daily, and we have now business ventures together. And probably the biggest thing, and Jackie, we talk about this as moderators behind closed doors, kind of as, like we're doing videos right now to talk about what's the one thing. And,
right.
and to me, there's a million things, and the opportunities that it creates, and all that stuff, and just the knowledge and the strategies. But more than anything is just that mindset of coming from contribution and just being kind, because in lab coats especially, you see it. There's so many people. There's always going to be trolls that just want to stir the pot.
Absolutely.
And I hear it. You hear it from the audience. It's like, oh, I don't like that group because of the nonsense. And it's like it's like this much,
right?
But you just happen to see it. And if there's one thing that I've taken from it, is I've learned just by being a friend of Tristan and being around him, that when you have those situations, which happens all the time, especially for us who are out there, right? It's inevitable, is to respond with kindness and respond with just be nice. And I just feel like a better person as a result of it. And I love it.
And that leads me to my next question, Jeff, about you is, what have you learned about yourself during this time and during all of this that has happened since March? I mean, is it, and I think I know the word, but I just don't want to say it. So you say it. What have you learned about yourself, Jeff?
I think, well, I will tell you that I remember the conversation Tristan and I had, because this is right before we were supposed to have an LCA 1 event in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And we were literally, it was the day before when we decided to cancel it. And, I host those events and I'm a big part of the events and I MC them and stuff. And so we were talking about it and he and I both, like, it was like one of those things where you look at each other and you had the same thought at the same time. And that was, we need to triple down on content as we head into this unprecedented time, because everybody's going to go online. And so what I've realized is that you don't think of yourself as somebody who can bring, you try to bring value, but you don't realize how much value you can actually bring until you just go at it full bore. And that's what we've done. And it's really become a huge passion of mine, is now just giving back.
And that's what I love. That's what I love about LCA Group. That's what I love about Tristan and you and all the different moderators we have. I always say this, we come from contribution and we love to educate, grow, and help one another. That's who we are as LabCoatAgents, right? And I've seen you be such a big part of it. And of course, my mentor at it. So I just, I love that about you. But the one word I was going to use was resilience. That's the word I was going to use for you.
Thank you.
That's you.
Junkie, I will say this, and I had a conversation with somebody who messaged Lab Coats behind the scenes, and we get this kind of message a lot, is why can so-and-so promote a business or promote a service and I couldn't? And it was a simple answer because of the person that it was, is that person comes from contribute. Well, either one, you're a vendor, you pay for it, or two, you come from contribute. This person has come from contribution for 2-3 years. Just give. It's the whole jab hook of Gary V, except it's more of a give, then take. Right. And it's that business strategy that has worked for me. I'm a lender. I'm a lender in a group of realtors. That doesn't belong in the industry. It just doesn't ever happen. And what I realized was that the more value I could bring to real estate agents' business, like their broker, be like their broker, and never ask for the business, all of a sudden it just comes at you like a wave, because then they just want to work with you. They're like, wow, you've helped me with video. You've helped me with social. You've helped me with this, that, or the other. You've helped me with my business. How can I give back to you? And if everybody had that mentality and practice, that doesn't matter what the business, you'll find that over time, that's why most people don't do it, because it takes time.
Exactly.
But if you do it, eventually it comes back tenfold. And that's what's happening for our business.
Right. And that's exactly what I wanted to kind of horn down and understand that, why are we such givers? And, that makes obviously you such a giver. That leads into my next question. What do you see as your biggest opportunity to grow your business over the remainder of the year, especially with everything that you've got going with the videos? And, I want to definitely learn from you on the videos too.
Yeah. I mean, well, so that's one of them. And we've been working on that business since about March, which is called the Business Video School. Right. And we're working on another platform right now called Real Estate Mastery Pros. Some of you have seen that. We do some webinars, but it's going to be more of a coaching platform for loan officers. But basically what I'm doing is we're taking the concept by how I built my business, which was bring value to real estate agents. Don't do it the traditional ways. Let me take you out for a cup of coffee. Let me tell you how great I am. Let me tell you about this, this program. It's all the same thing. We're selling the same widget, right?
Right.
So what I've figured out was if you can bring value, so we're going to take this platform to teach it to other loan officers so they can bring it to their real estate agents and it, attract more business. And what we've found is that that's what a real estate agent wants.
Exactly.
Most good realtors, it's like, listen, I know you're going to answer your phone. I know you're going to be accessible. I know you're going to give them the best program. I know you're going to give them a good rate.
Right.
What can you help me grow my business?
Right.
And that's what we found works the best. And so we're going to take that and teach that to the mortgage industry. And as a byproduct, it's going to bring more value to the real estate industry.
Exactly.
And that's the goal.
And that's what I'm looking forward to, Jeff. But that's all we have time for. If it was you and I'd be talking to you forever. But it was, like I said in the beginning, such a pleasure and honor to, come from Contribution and kind of head on this one with you and interview you, because you've been my mentor from day one here at LabCoat. When I did the Yelp webinar with you, you were so encouraging, such a great person to have on our team here with the moderators. So thank you for your time, Jeff. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. This has been fun.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.